Hi, my name is Leah and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. All right, you guys, so a lot of you watched part one, my video on why I quit teaching. I will link that below in the description box. And this is my follow-up video. These are 5 tips that I will give to any educator who is considering leaving the field of education, because I was not really prepared at all, and so I want to help you avoid those pitfalls that I fell into. So let's get into it. First tip is save money. I was blessed and fortunate enough, as I mentioned in my other video, to have a savings account because I was planning on purchasing a home. So instead, that money that I was saving for the home actually ended up being my saving grace, no pun intended, because I was able to rely heavily on my savings while I was adjusting, shifting, and just trying to figure out what was next. So definitely make sure that you have a good amount saved, as you still have bills and you still have things that you want to take care of. So you want to make sure that you're prepared financially. Now, I will say I did have a major advantage because I do still live at home. And so that was a big blessing, just because I didn't have the weight of a mortgage or a set monthly rent to worry about. And so that came in handy, and I'm very grateful to be able to still live at home. So my biggest thing would be to save, though. Save as much as you can in advance, so that when you actually do leave, you are ready. My teacher checks, they ended in August. And so kind of that summer was still sort of weird, I guess, because I was used to having summers off and I was used to getting paid in the summer. So it didn't really hit me that it was over until I got that last check. And then my health insurance ran out, and so I remember like scheduling to get my wisdom teeth removed 1 week before my insurance ran out. So yeah, you want to make sure that you've thought those things through and you've prepared and planned accordingly. My second tip would be to ask around and to start letting people know that you're looking to switch industries, because this is a big deal. If you spent any amount of time in one industry, you've gained a lot of skills for that industry. But thankfully, teaching is a career where there are transferable skills in there. You just have to think about how you're going to word that and phrase that and all of that. So start asking people, is your job hiring? Or is there someone I can talk to? Basically, start networking with the people that you know. My third tip would be to give yourself time to adjust. This is new for you. You've been in the classroom for however many years. You're used to going back to work in August and working for 10 months and being out in June. So give yourself a bit of a grace period, so to speak, while you're still figuring out what your next move is. Some of you may already know where you're transitioning to and how you plan to do that. And if you do, that's awesome. But some of you may be a little bit more so like me, where you have an idea, but you're not really for sure on where you want to take it. So for example, yes, I have my business, but it's not quite to the point where it's like a full-time sustainable thing. And so in September of last year, I went to real estate school, and I am a licensed realtor, and that was actually a very affordable class that you can take. It's under like $300 for the whole program, and so that's a definite venture that you can get into, and it has a lot of transferable skills with teaching. It's more so sales based, but a lot of things that teachers do is kind of like a sales position as far as it relates to talking with people. So great communication skills, organization, all of those things are very transferable. So that was good, but I still wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to take that, and that was again another entrepreneurial type of field of work. And so what I eventually ended up doing was I enrolled in culinary school. Now that one was not as affordable as real estate, but it was still a great investment. And so that opportunity allowed me to work full-time at a bakery, which is nice. However, just be ready for maybe when you're now an entry-level worker in some cases, so you probably won't be making as much as your teacher salary, and just be prepared for that. Or you can go, I hear of a lot of teachers going into the tech field, so that is something to consider. You can go into tech, and that's a pretty lucrative field. So if that's something you're interested in, maybe start researching that. That goes into my fourth point: research other industries. So this is not the video for a teacher looking to go from teaching to administration within the school. This is like a total 180 out of education. So start looking into other things that you may be interested in, such as the tech industry or healthcare or business, whatever it is. Start to research that, and you may decide that you need to go back to school, or you may be able to use the skills you have to get into that industry. And my fifth tip, my final tip for teachers looking to transition, is to spruce up your resume, kind of revamp it. Look into your new industry and pull out those terms and words that will help you sell yourself to this new industry. Because the reality is people will hire teachers, but you can't go in there talking about how you differentiated lesson plans. Like, that doesn't mean anything to a new industry, So I actually did start on Indeed, and I applied for maybe 15 or so education type positions that weren't classroom related. I applied to some nonprofits, and one of them was really promising. It was sort of like a social worker, but not a social worker. I was going to be working with high school age students who were having maybe they were like lacking credits, or they were having a couple of difficulties, and I would help them find resources. And the person who was interviewing me was also a former elementary teacher, so I thought I had that job in the bag. I didn't get that job, but it did kind of help me to shape my resume and to realize that that's not what I wanted to do either. So those are my 5 tips for you guys who are looking to move out of the education field and into something new. Let me know, are there any teachers watching this who have successfully transitioned? Go ahead and comment below. And also, if you haven't watched part 1 of my video, please watch it. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.